is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Carmen Chow. We begin tonight in New London, where shots were fired by a police officer at a hotel. This incident follows 3 other shootings by police in other towns across Connecticut just last month. Fox 61 was first on the scene, but tonight there are more questions than answers. Our DeAndrea Turner is live in New London, gathering what little we know at this hour. DeAndrea.
Hi, Carmen. Well, we actually got more information just within the last 30 minutes. Officers released a press release saying that they got a call for a shooting here at this hotel around 1:30 this afternoon. But actually, when they got to the scene, officers say that they arrived on scene and found a man at Clarion Inn, which is the hotel directly behind America's Value Inn. Now, you can see that the scene is still a little bit active. There were a lot more police here on scene earlier, and as the night moves on, police officers they're here just a little bit, but not too much. And again, we just learned this information just a little over 30 minutes ago. Police say when officers made contact with the suspect, that's when the man started to shoot, and there was an exchange in gunfire. The Inspector General office and now the New London State Attorney are leading the investigation. To note, the Inspector General is also investigating 3 shootings involving police that occurred over a 5-day period last month. Now, officials also say they do not know the current status of the man who was shot tonight. This is still an active and ongoing investigation. For now in New London, DeAndrea Turner, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
DeAndrea, thank you. And turning now to the weather watch with heavy rain moving across the state. Let's get a live look at Hartford, where it looks okay right now, but could get slippery soon. So definitely be careful if you're headed out and about. But if not, certainly stay dry and cozy inside your home. But when is the rain supposed to end? Let's check in with meteorologist Ryan Breton for a first look at our forecast. Hi, Ryan.
Carmen, you can see in DeAndrea's live shot there, the umbrella shaking in the wind. We have rain and gusty winds coming through tonight. The strongest winds will be in southern and eastern Connecticut, but this is a very quick moving system. It's only going to last another 4 or 5 hours, then it's out of here by tomorrow morning. But you can see the rain filling in right now. One trend over the last several hours, though, has been to push the heaviest rain out of western Connecticut and more into parts of upstate New York. So it doesn't look like we'll get very high amounts of rain, 1.5 or 2 inches. Instead, it's more looking like a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain across the state tonight. You can see on the live radar, though, there are some downpours out there, particularly in southeastern Connecticut. The yellows here from Colchester over to Lyme down to Niantic and New London, indicating the heavy rain that's moving through right now. So the very heaviest of the rain coming through over the next few hours, and the wind is also picking up. It'll be strongest on the shoreline tonight, where we may have some gusts briefly getting past 40 miles per hour, but by dawn tomorrow morning, the wind will be lightening up. As for the rain, it's really just the next few hours that it will be heaviest. Then it's out of here in time for tomorrow morning's commute. A look beyond tomorrow at some chilly weather coming for this week when I see you in just a little while.
Ryan, thank you. Now to West Haven, where a man was shot and killed shortly after 2 in the morning today on Campbell Avenue. Police say they received calls about an altercation in the parking lot. When officers arrived, they found the man who had been shot. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. No word yet on any arrest. The shooting remains under investigation. And in Woodbridge, a Bethany woman has died after her car veered off the road and hit a tree. Police say yesterday around 11:30 a.m., emergency crews rushed to the area of North Pease Road between Fairgrounds and Amity Roads. There, they found a car partially overturned and severely damaged. The driver, 46-year-old Jessica Ciola, was pronounced dead on the scene. North Pease Road was closed for several hours but has reopened. Anyone who witnessed this crash is urged to contact Woodbridge Police. And in Hebron, a Bolton woman has also died in a crash into a tree. This took place shortly after 2 a.m. State police say 23-year-old Sydney Ledoux was traveling north on Route 85 near East Street when she suddenly veered off the lane, crossed over the southbound lane, left the roadway, and hit a mailbox and a tree. She was pronounced dead on the scene. This crash is under investigation. And in Wethersfield, police responded to 2 serious crashes on the Silestein Highway just a half a mile and 12 hours apart yesterday. One of those turned deadly. The first crash happened just before 3 Saturday morning when a Kia SUV was hit by a garbage truck near the Marshall's Home Goods. The driver of the Kia had to be extricated from the car. 2 people were taken to a local hospital and 1 had life-threatening injuries. Then just after 2:30 Saturday afternoon, police were called to a head-on collision near the Goffbrook shops. Police say both drivers sustained life-threatening injuries and were rushed to Hartford Hospital, where both were pronounced dead. For the first time since U.S. brokered a truce between Israel and Hamas, an American hostage is among those freed by the Palestinian militants tonight. She's Abigail Eden, a witness to her mother's murder. She turned 4 years old while in captivity. Alex Hogan has the latest from Jerusalem, beginning with reaction from President Biden.
Critically needed aid is going in and hostages are coming out.
President Biden delivering good news that the third group of hostages is being released and delivered to freedom, including 4-year-old Abigail Eden, an American dual citizen abducted by Hamas. The young girl spending her birthday in captivity after losing both parents during a kibbutz attack on October 7th.
She's free and she's in Israel now. And so those who are now wrapping Abigail in love and care and the supportive services she needs, she's been through a terrible trauma.
16 more hostages, including Israelis and foreign nationals, some women and children, were handed over by Hamas overnight. 9-year-old Emily Hand also among those released on Saturday, embracing her father in an Israeli hospital. The family initially fearful the reunion might not happen when Hamas announced a delay in the day's exchange, providing a list of complaints, including that not enough aid was getting into northern Gaza. The U.S. helped broker the deal that led to the release of hostages in groups starting on Friday. In return, a pause in fighting. Israel, in exchange, is releasing Palestinian prisoners. It's been days of emotional reunions for families in the West Bank, too. But the Israeli government has demanded police break up celebrations over their release.
Our feeling of joy is clouded by sadness because of the massacre committed by the Israeli occupation against our people in Gaza.
Tomorrow will be the 4th day of the ceasefire, and more hostages are expected to be released, with negotiators working day by day to try to extend the ceasefire. In Jerusalem, Israel, Alex Hogan, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Members of 3 generations of one Israeli family who had been held captive in Gaza were reunited with relatives late last night. 67-year-old Shoshan Haran, her daughter 38-year-old Adi Shoham, and grandchildren 8-year-old Neve and 3-year-old Yael were among the 13 Israeli hostages released by Hamas yesterday. They were taken to a medical center near Tel Aviv where other family members joined them. The children's father is believed to still be in captivity. Connecticut's news station remains committed to tracking the latest in the truce between Israel and Hamas and the impact the war is having around the world and here at home. Download the free Fox 61 News app for updates and follow us on air and online at fox61.com. Now to Vermont, where a student from Trinity College here in Hartford is among 3 young men, all of Palestinian descent, shot by a gunman. This happened Saturday night near the campus of the University of Vermont in Burlington. The men were approached by a man and shot without a word, and then the gunman ran away. The 3 men posed for this photo and shared it with family just minutes before they were wounded. Tassin Ahmed and his friends are all juniors, one at Brown University, another at Haverford College in Pennsylvania. Ahmed was shot in the chest. Brown student Hisham Awar Tahani was hit in the spinal cord. They are all expected to survive. They were on their way to Awar Tahani's grandmother's house for dinner and were speaking a mix of English and Arabic when they were shot. And in a statement, the Anti-Defamation League's executive director said it is clear that the hate was a motivating factor in this shooting, and we call on law enforcement to investigate it as such. The surge in anti-Arab and anti-Palestinian sentiment we are experiencing is unprecedented, and this is another example of that hate turning violent. Today is expected to be the busiest travel day ever, and if you want proof, check out this video from Bradley International Airport tonight. Airport officials estimate that 90,000 travelers flew out of Bradley over the 10-day period that ends today. That's right in line with predictions based on last year's numbers. Travelers we spoke with were using Bradley as a hub to get to other airports. One family on their way to New Hampshire and another from Western Massachusetts said they packed lots of patience.
It's a lot easier flight because it's a direct flight from here to Phoenix, and it really cuts on time.
Western Mass from Logan instead of Harvard, but that's a no-brainer.
AAA projects roughly 55.4 million people will have traveled somewhere across America this holiday week, with an estimated 2.9 today alone. And if that number holds up, it'll set a new record. We have much more coming up on the news at 10. Thanksgiving was just 3 days ago, but it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas around